Welcome to History vs. AI. Long before the rise of empires, before Babylon, before Egypt, the earth trembled beneath the footsteps of giants. But were these giants the Nephilim spoken of in the Bible, or the Anunnaki, the star gods of Sumer? In Genesis, the Nephilim are called the mighty men of renown, born of the sons of God and the daughters of men. Their strength was beyond human, their size beyond reason. But thousands of miles away, Sumerian clay tablets spoke of the Anunnaki, divine rulers who descended from the heavens in fiery chariots, shaping the fate of mankind. Two tales, worlds apart, yet eerily similar. Were the Nephilim and Anunnaki the same beings, remembered under different names? The Nephilim were feared as destroyers, leaving trails of death and ruin wherever they walked. Ancient armies stood no chance. Meanwhile, the Anunnaki were worshipped as sky kings, beings who taught mankind laws, agriculture, and even war. To the Sumerians, they were gods made flesh. But what if the Nephilim and the Anunnaki were not separate legends, but fragments of the same terrifying truth? The Book of Enoch describes angels who defied God, descending to earth to take wives, birthing monstrous children that consumed the land. The Sumerians told a strikingly similar tale. Divine beings arriving from the stars, giving knowledge but demanding worship. Was this coincidence or the same event seen through two cultures? And when the flood came, wiping the world clean, both legends claim the giants vanished. But did they truly die? Or were they hidden, waiting in shadows of time? In the forgotten ruins of Mesopotamia, broken tablets whispered a tale older than empires. They spoke of the Anunnaki, celestial beings who descended from the heavens, shaping kings, laws, and destinies carved in stone. They were described as beings of fire and majesty, towering figures with wings that burned like suns and voices that shook the mountains, leaving mortals trembling between awe and terror. To some, they were gods of life, creators of order, builders of cities. To others, they were tyrants, demanding sacrifice, blood, and unquestioned loyalty, leaving humanity divided in faith and fear. Legends claimed their origin was not of this earth. They came from the stars, bringing knowledge of metal farming and power beyond imagination, gifts that lifted mankind but chained them as well. From the dawn of civilization, the Anunnaki stood as bridges between gods and men. They raised kings, destroyed nations, and carved destinies in stone, leaving mysteries humanity still cannot answer. Ancient kings bowed before them, claiming their crowns were gifts of the Anunnaki. Dynasties rose and fell, yet their shadow remained, carved in every stone that told the story of power. But whispers spread through the temples. Were they guardians or conquerors? Some called them saviors of man, others warned they enslaved humanity under divine chains of fear. Texts hidden deep within clay tablets described their wars, battles of fire, storms and floods unleashed upon those who defied them. The earth itself trembled under their wrath. They were not worshipped by all. Some resisted, rising with spears and defiance, fighting against beings whose power seemed endless. Yet their courage forged legends of rebellion. And so the question endures through ages. Were the Anunnaki gods of light who gave mankind its first empire, or tyrants who bound us to an eternal struggle for freedom? Hidden beneath the sands, forbidden tombs whisper of their return. Symbols etched in stone foretell a day when the gods will once again walk among men. Prophets warned of their vengeance. Those who mocked the old gods would feel storms that swallowed empires and fires that erased kingdoms overnight. Yet some secrets endured. Rituals passed from priest to priest, blood offerings made in silence, keeping the covenant of power alive through centuries. In their wars, it was said they did not fight alone. Creatures of fire and winged beasts carried their banners, making mortals tremble before their armies. Still, fragments of truth remain. Were they gods, demons, or something far beyond human understanding? The mystery of the Anunnaki refuses to die. Across the oceans, other civilizations spoke of sky people who descended in burning chariots. Different names, yet the same shadows haunted their myths. Stone monuments aligned with the stars were not accidents. They were messages carved in stone, roadmaps pointing back to their celestial home. Priests claimed they heard voices echoing through the night, not from earth, but from the heavens, commanding kings to build in their honor. Some say the flood was no myth, it was judgment. The world drowned to bury the sins of the Nephilim, leaving behind only silence and ruin. But ruins remain, scattered across the earth, broken temples, shattered idols, and the whispers of giants who once ruled mankind. In Sumer, they carved tablets of clay, speaking of beings who walked among men, yet were not men. Their wisdom shaped empires, their power bent kings. The Anunnaki were feared not only for their strength, but for the laws they imposed. To disobey them was to invite ruin upon entire nations. In the Bible, the Nephilim are said to corrupt the earth, filling it with violence, a story mirrored in Mesopotamia, Egypt, and beyond. The giants were remembered not only as destroyers, but as builders, shaping monuments that still defy explanation thousands of years later. Egypt tells of gods who ruled before the pharaohs, mighty beings whose forms towered above mortals and whose knowledge lit the Nile Valley. Legends speak of their size, their height reaching the heavens. They were not just kings, they were mountains of flesh and power. Across cultures, the story is the same. Celestial beings descend, teach mankind, and then leave destruction in their wake. Some say these beings never left, that their blood flows still in rulers, kings, and dynasties who claim divine right. From Atlantis to the pyramids, from Babel to Babylon, their fingerprints remain, echoes of a time when gods walked the earth. Could it be that the Nephilim and the Anunnaki are one and the same, two names for the same ancient truth? The Book of Enoch describes the Watchers, angels who abandoned heaven for human women, birthing giants who devoured the earth. These unions were forbidden, an act of rebellion against the divine order, and their children became monsters of legend. God's judgment came like thunder. The flood was sent to erase the giants, to cleanse the world of their corruption. But even after the flood, whispers remained. Giants once again appeared, enemies of Israel, enemies of God. Goliath was not the last. Entire tribes of giants stood against the chosen people until they were destroyed in battle. Some say the giants never truly died. They went underground, into caves, into shadows, waiting for their return. In every culture, giants stand at the border between myth and history, leaving behind ruins too vast for human hands alone. Their names differ, Anunnaki, Nephilim, Watchers, but their essence is the same, beings who cross the line between heaven and earth. And the question remains, will they come again? Or have they always been here, shaping history from the shadows? This is the mystery of the Nephilim and the Anunnaki, two names, one enigma. Their story is written not just in stone, but in the blood of mankind.